Many of today's advanced engines and heating systems are powered by biodiesel, the nation's fastest-growing liquid alternative fuel. It's clean, safe, and delivers performance benefits that generic fuel alone can't provide. Like conventional diesel fuel and heating oil, biodiesel must be handled properly to ensure positive user experience. Among the biodiesel industry's top priorities are improving reliability and reducing downtime associated with poor fuel quality and inferior fuel storage systems. Poor fuel quality coupled with dirty fuel systems can cause diesel engine or heating system shutdowns. Many of these problems can be prevented. A good place to start is to source fuels from reputable suppliers that adhere to the principles of supplying ASTM-specified fuels. The highest quality assurance can be found from BQ 9000 accredited producers and certified marketers. BQ 9000 is a voluntary quality control program set up by the National Biodiesel Board. BQ 9000 certified marketers and accredited producers undergo independent audits of their fuel quality practices, setting them apart from their competitors. Sourcing biodiesel from reputable sources is critical. However, proactive fuel quality management starts even before your delivery arrives. Prior to delivery, check that the tank area is clean and free of debris. If it's an underground tank, inspect the loading pad for damage from truck traffic, which could allow water, salt, or dirt into the tank. Make sure your fuel system is protected against obvious contaminant infiltration. Check your hoses for wear and tear. Next, make sure that the vent cap is in place and in good condition. Vent caps, which allow air to replace the void space in the tank, become saturated with moisture, which contributes to entrained and bottom water. Consider using a desiccant dryer for added protection. Next, observe that the fill cap is in good condition and is tightly secured with a gasket seal. Water and dirt can lead to filter plugging and tank corrosion, as well as negatively impact the combustion process by clogging injectors or oil burner nozzles. Next, stick the tank with a stick and water paste to check for both fuel volume and bottom water contamination. Spread the paste on the tip of the stick. Insert the stick to the bottom of the tank. Remove and inspect the tip of the stick. If it is yellow in color, no water exists at the bottom of the tank. If red, water is present and immediate attention must be given to pumping it out. Proactive tank management will minimize water, salt, or dirt from contaminating your system. However, there are a few simple visual examinations you can perform before and after fuel delivery that will provide you with an ASTM haze rating, an indicator of entrained water or wax within your fuel. Pull a sample and inspect using a distillate fuel bar chart to determine the potential for moisture contamination. The chart can be purchased from the American Society for Testing and Materials. Place the sample up against that black bar chart and look for haze. The clearer and brighter the fuel sample indicates that it would be highly unlikely that moisture held in suspension will come back to trouble the diesel or heating oil user. A hazy sample could indicate the presence of water or wax in cold weather. Moisture contamination could lead to corrosive activity of your fuel systems, ultimately causing untimely tank leaks. Regularly inspect all bulk deliveries before accepting to ensure the delivery contains minimum entrained moisture. Entrained moisture in your fuel can promote the growth of microbial contamination. This may contaminate all your tanks and potentially the tanks of those you serve. A third way to maintain fuel quality is the periodic testing of fuel samples representative of your tank contents. A commercial lab specializing in petroleum testing will be required to analyze your samples. Check to make sure you have enough containers for the amount of sample needed to conduct all the tests. Unless a great deal of testing on one fuel is required, a couple of quarts will be adequate. The integrity of a fuel sample is critical to obtaining useful information from the fuels analysis, so always use clean sampling devices and new appropriate containers. A bacon bomb or fuel thief is the recommended tool for retrieving bulk tank samples. Slowly lower your sampling device to the bottom of the tank to capture a bottom sample. The basic principle of gathering fuel samples is to obtain an actual representation of the fuel within the tank. If the sample is retrieved improperly, the results you may get may not give the correct indication of a potential problem. Therefore, it is recommended that you retrieve from 2, even 3 different areas of your tank. This can be accomplished by adding attachments to your sampling device. Once you pull the sample out of the tank, transfer it into the chosen containers. Remember, when filling containers, only to fill up to 90% capacity to allow for expansion. For saddle tank samples, it would be easier to pull the drain plug located on the bottom of the saddle tank. Fuel tank sedimentation and water will be the first to leave the tank, followed by clean fuel. Once your fuel samples are retrieved, secure the bottles with a tight cap and seal for safe transport to the lab. Clearly identify each sample. Place the bottle into a plastic bag, sealing with a standard bag tie to ensure any leakage is contained during transport. Also, place your packaged sample in a sturdy corrugated shipping box should you necessitate sending your sample through a ground service like FedEx or UPS. Excellent fuel quality and properly maintained fuel storage systems will lead to improved reliability and reduced downtime. Fuel operational issues certainly can be minimized if you practice these simple but critical steps. Understand fuel quality and specify only ASTM fuels. Procure your biodiesel fuel from BQ 9000 producers or marketers. Periodically retrieve fuel samples and have them professionally tested. And enforce strict tank management policies to protect the fuel and the systems in which it is stored. An established prevent defense will ensure a successful experience with biodiesel. For more information on fuel quality, contact the National Biodiesel Board.